Do you realize that a Toyota RAV4 is the most popular car in the United States? And that car costs about $33,000. Now, most people would finance or lease this car, and if they did, do you know their payment would be about $600 a month? But what if there was just a better way? What if this car right here could help your retirement grow? Now, this car right here very well could give you a 21% return on your 401k assets. So in today's video, I figured I would just show you how to buy your next car or pay off your existing car, but yet make an awesome return, risk-free, on your 401k assets just for buying one of these. And as a bonus, I'm gonna show you the best way to negotiate with a car dealer to get a better price on this so you can get an even bigger return. The other day I was talking to my friend and we got on the car topic and he mentioned his car payment. His car payment was over $600 a month. I didn't really think about it, but I kind of knew what kind of car he drove and I'm like, wow, car payments are a lot of money. And we got talking more about this and I said, hey, how'd you decide to finance the car versus leasing it or paying cash for it? And he said, well, I just wanted to own the car, so I financed it and the rate was pretty good. In my mind, because I think about things differently, I didn't think his rate was good at all. Even though his rate was under 5% to him, which was good, to me, I'm like, you're not actually paying 5%. You are, but you're giving away cash flow that's worth far more than 5%. Now, I know that doesn't make any sense, so let me just break this down. What I wanna do is I wanna show you how you can buy cars more efficiently. But not just how you can buy cars more efficiently, how you can also grow your retirement while buying a car. That doesn't seem to make any sense, does it? Well, let me help you make sense of it. You see, the average American has a 401k plan at the place they work. And a lot of those 401ks match. Now, what is a match? It's kind of your employer giving you free money as an incentive for you to want to work there or stay employed. Now, we're not going to get into matches, but I'm just telling you why people have so much money in 401k plans. 40 to 60% of Americans have one of these little buggers, a 401k, with an average account balance of over $140,000. And most of that money is invested in the stock market. Now, how many of you think the stock market's going to continue to go up, up, and away? I bet you if I were to ask all of you that question, the answer would be very few of you think it's going to keep going up. I bet you most of you think the stock market's bound to start going down. And if it does, guess what happens to your 401k? It goes down in value. That is, if you don't apply what Warren Buffett says. Warren Buffett always says simple things. He says, buy low and sell high and you won't lose money. Yeah, well, he's exactly right. You've been dollar cost averaging into that 401k, buying low. And you're not gonna sell because it's for your retirement, right? But what if we could reposition? What if we could just do some simple things and make you over 20% return with no risk on your 401k? Do I got your attention now? Well, let's go back to my friend in his car, right? He financed that car through the place where he bought it. And he was making a payment over $600 a month. Now, I'm not going to use his example, but I am going to use the example of the most common car in the United States of America. Do you know what it is? My terrible drawing, a Toyota RAV4. Now, this is clearly the extended version. Actually, I just drew it wrong. But a Toyota RAV4 has an average cost of $33,000, making it a very affordable car. But if you look at the financing as of 2025 on a RAV4, most of those financing options of 5 years are going to be over $600 a month. Let's just say you found yourself a really good deal and you found a Toyota RAV4 priced at $33,000 and you were able to get it for $600 a month. That would actually be a really good deal. Now, this is financing, not leasing, but leasing is the same thing, and I'll show you how those numbers work. Now, what if you just paid that car off, right? My friend had enough money in his account to just pay that off, but most people don't have $33,000 sitting in their bank account that they can just plop down on a car or just pay off an existing car loan. Am I right? Even if you did have 33 grand, would you pay your car off? Probably not. But let's go over here. Let's talk about your 401k. Now here's some things most people don't know. Most qualified retirement plans, including 401ks, have loan provisions, meaning you can take a loan from your 401k plan. Now there's some things you must know about taking a loan from your retirement account. You don't ever want to just take a loan out for no reason. It must be strategic. And you can only take $50,000 or 50% of your balance, whichever is less. But nonetheless, if you had $50,000 in your 401k, that would be enough to pay off the most common car, 33 grand. And that's what we're going to talk about. But let me talk about some of the downsides of taking money out of a 401k, but I also want to spin the positives. Now, for the last 10 years or so, you have witnessed just an awesome bull run. So we're just going to call this a nice bull run because your 401k has had tremendous gains, at least most of your 401ks. If you just invested in indexes or the things that most 401ks offer, you probably have done substantially well. But if any of you had a 401k through 2008's Great Recession, well, you could have seen a fall of over 56% of your 401k. Now that did not feel good. Now I'm not saying we're going to have another Great Recession, although we could. We are probably going to have a pullback in the market. It could be a recession. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But nonetheless, Warren Buffett said, buy low, sell high, and don't lose money. How you do that is you sell somewhere up here, which is about where we're at right now, one of the all-time highs. But you don't want to just sell, right? Because this is your 401k. Your paycheck, you're going to keep putting money in every pay period. That's how this works. It's called dollar cost averaging. That's why a lot of 401ks have success. You're just systematically buying in with your paycheck. But what a lot of people don't do is they don't manage their 401k. They don't do a good job of getting out before a market fall. They just ride it out, and that's fine. Because when the market goes down, you're buying low, low, low. So all good, but you know what? It's hard to really kind of get away from that. If this were the Great Recession and you had lost 56%, that would suck. So now what if we could still make a return when everybody else is losing? Think about that. What if when everybody's 401ks are going down, down, down when the market turns, but yet you were making money, but not even just making money. What if you were making over 20%? What would your friends be asking you? Wouldn't they be like, hey, how did you do it? And then all you'd say, well, all I did is I just paid off my car using my 401k. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to tell you, I still make that car payment, but I make it back to my 401k. And your friends would be like, what? And you'd be like, yeah, that's how I make over 20%. Duh. So let me break down the math for you. Now again, remember, if you take a loan from your 401k, most 401k providers are going to limit you to $50,000 or 50% of your balance. So you have to factor that. Also, when you take your money out of your 401k via a loan, you are literally selling your investments in your 401k, which right now you'd be selling high, and your money will not be earning inside the 401k because you're physically taking that money out. So now what are we going to do with that money? Now this can go a lot of ways, but today we're just going to talk cars. Fair enough? Okay? If we owed $33,000 on a car loan, now let's just go over some averages. Just so you all know, the average car loan in America is $41,000. The average car price for the first time in history is over $50,000, meaning people are putting about 10 grand down on a car. I don't know why they do that, but hey, they save up for it and they feel good about it. So let's just reinvent this. Let's say we go to our 401k and we take a loan for 33 grand. So we just take a loan from our 401k and we owe 33,000, or we're going to buy a RAV4, whichever way you do it. Okay, so you took a loan. Now the 401k plan is going to charge interest on that loan. And I looked up the average as of 2025. It's 8.5%. Now pay attention. Most of you are like, well, that makes absolutely no sense because I can go get a car loan for under 5%. So why would I borrow at 8.5% to buy a car that I could finance or lease for less than 8.5? This is where you must understand how this works. Pay attention, grab a pen and take some notes. The loan interest that is charged on your 401k loan, in this example, $33,000. That loan interest is paid back to your 401k. So if this were your loan interest rate, technically you can look at it like you're getting 8.5% on your money. Now that's not too bad. That's better than most of you are even earning on your 401k gains. So you're still thinking about this wrong. You're still thinking this 8.5% loan interest is going to somebody other than yourself, right? Because you just want to think that way because that's what you've been conditioned. But in this case, the loan interest charged on the 401k loan, I'm telling you, double check, is going back to your account. It's not going to the owner of your company. It's not going to the 401k provider. It's going to your account. Now, I want to be clear and give you a disclaimer. Your individual situations are going to differ than what I'm going to show you. This is just hypothetical in nature, just to give you an example. You can run your numbers. You can contact us. Oh, by the way, right up in the description, you can reach us. And let me just take a second and pause. Some of you, this might be your first video. Or some of you, you've watched hundreds of my videos, but yet you still haven't clicked this button. Darn it, click the subscribe button now. And also, there's a little bell right up here. You're gonna need to smash that bell. Not bad, huh? So you're notified every time I put out new content. Well, let's get back to your 401k. So remember, we can take a loan from our 401k. Check with your 401k provider to make sure it is eligible. But again, the rules, 50,000 or 50%. There is interest charged on the loan. And here's another thing. Remember, the money's going to come out of the stock market or out of the funds to be able to do this. So you're not going to earn. So the interest that you're paying on that loan is what your money is actually earning. And the last thing I want to point out, these loans must be paid back. So here's a warning. If you don't think you're going to be at this employer for a long time, at least the duration of the loan, if you think you're going to get fired or laid off, please refrain from doing this. Because if you did leave your employer, they're going to require you to repay that loan, okay? Just be careful. But if you think you're going to be there for a while, your paycheck is going to be charged a monthly payment or bi-weekly payment or however often you're paid. They're going to take the payment for this loan from your 401k out of your paycheck. So you're going to have less cash flow. But that isn't going to matter here. I'm just trying to give you all the bad stuff first. None of it's going to matter because here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this 33 grand. We're going to come over here and we're going to pay off this car loan, or we're just going to buy the car using this. And I'll show you how to negotiate a better price for your car. Now, that payment that you were making was probably somewhere around $600 a month. I did the math, okay? That's $7,200 per year. Now, let me just run the math. I know you all think that your return is the same as what the car interest rate is. Now, let's just say this car interest rate is 5%. This is not how we're going to look at this. We're going to look at it as $33,000 just came from your 401k, paid off your car. You're repaying your 401k $600 a month. The exact amount you were paying on that car loan is coming back to your 401k. So every month, you're putting $600 back in your 401k. Now remember, that's going to come from your paycheck, but I just want you to think this way. So if we took 600 times 12, that's $7,200 a year, okay? That's how much you're going to be repaying back to your 401k. $33,000 in your 401k, if it were divided by $7,200, okay? So we would take $7,200 and we would divide it into $33,000. That's a 21.8% return. What do I mean by that? Your 33 grand in the 401k would have to earn 21.8% just to make $7,200. But what you're doing is repositioning the 33 grand to pay off your car. You're then recapturing the $600 a month you were paying on the car loan back to your 401k, which means your 33 grand is working at the same rate as it would have to earn in the 401k of 21.8%. And you didn't take on any risk. No market risk, no volatility risk. You just paid off your car or bought a car, whichever way you're looking at this. Are you understanding? But you see, you didn't just make 21.8% here. You made 21.8% plus the loan interest rate that they're charging, which is 8.5% as an average. Now again, your situation is probably going to vary. You got to double check with your administrator, your 401k, to make sure what your loan interest rate is, what your loan repayments would be, and then you can reverse engineer it this way. But think about that. You're not making that on your 401k. Some of you might be. Oh, I'm sorry. We got a couple savants watching this. I know. You guys are like Nancy Pelosi's right there. You're the best stock pickers in the world, so you're crushing this. But you know what? Very few people are. And I guarantee you, nobody watching this is earning that kind of a return on their money with no risk. Here, there is no risk because it's just a car. Now, again, I don't care what kind of car you're driving. We just use the RAV4. Replace it with a BMW, replace it with a Porsche, replace it with whatever. You probably can't get a Porsche for 50 grand, so that's why we did this. But just think of the possibilities. For buying your car or paying off your existing car loan, if you did it from your 401k, your situation might improve. Plus, you're not going to have to ride that roller coaster back down the other side when the markets go down. You just keep driving your car into the sunset. I want to show you how to also get the best deal on the car you're going to buy. But before I do that, hey, you're not going to believe this, but out of all of you watching this video, 77% of you are not subscribed to my channel. I can't even believe that. It's totally free to get these money hacks, but I need you to do me a huge favor. 77% of you, click that subscribe button right there. And also right above, there's a little bell. Hit that bell, it'll notify you every time I put out new content. Thanks a bunch. So here's the game. When you go in there, play it off like you're gonna finance it. Go through the motions, look at lease prices, look at financing options, but know in the back of your mind, you're the bank. You're gonna be paying cash for this car, but walk through the negotiations first. Get them to commit to the price. Second thing, and this is even more important, say no or don't buy. That's the best thing you can do. Negotiate, get it all down on paper, you got it, they think you're gonna buy it, and then, well, you know what, I gotta go check out a couple other cars that I'm looking at. Walk out. Go to the next dealership, do the same thing, get their best price. Mention that you just came from their competitor's dealership. Now all of a sudden, they're gonna be fighting for your business. Go through the whole motions of financing and leasing, get the best price there. Right off the bat, you have now gotten a better deal, but you're not gonna buy there. Then what you're gonna do is nothing. I know this is the hardest thing because you wanna buy the car. Just wait. Both dealerships will start calling you and then pin one against the other. Negotiate them against one another. And you're negotiating the price of the car, not the financing. They're gonna try to get the monthly payment down. Be like, you know what, how much am I buying this car for? I wanna know what you're giving me the car for. Oh, well, we reduced it, we gave you a rebate, we gave you a discount, blah, blah, blah. Great, so now instead of the car costing you 33 grand, maybe now it's 30. That is some really good advice on how you do it. But you gotta commit. You can't just go in and buy the car. And that's hard because you get emotional. You're like, yeah, I want this car now. You'll have the car, but let's save a couple $1,000 so that you can make even more money on your 401k and put yourself in a much better situation. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Did you click that subscribe button yet? 77% of you are not subscribed? Man, I just told you how to buy cars more efficiently, how to make 20+% return on your 401k with no return. Yeah, the return is click the subscribe button. Thanks. Hey, if you like this video, check this one out right there. How to get all the money back for your dream car. We'll see you on the next one.